Mr. Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present to you Dr. Ruth DeFries, an environmental geographer and renowned scholar. Dr. DeFries' research focuses on issues of sustainability, science policy, and the impact of the human race on the Earth's environment. Dr. Ruth DeFries holds the Denning Family Chair in Sustainable Development in the Department of Ecology, Evolution, and Environmental Biology at Columbia University, where she specializes in developing the scientific underpinnings for more sustainable land use. Dr. DeFries is an internationally renowned scientist dedicated to linking science with policy to improve landscape management. In 2014, she published the critically acclaimed book, The Big Ratchet: How Humanity Thrives in the Face of Natural Crisis. It is an optimistic view of the problems and solutions that the human enterprise has created in the quest to feed more people than ever before. Ruth DeFries has been awarded many honors, among them the MacArthur Genius Award in 2007, and she was elected to the United States National Academy of Sciences in 2006, one of that country's highest scientific honors. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Ruth DeFries so that you may confer upon her the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
It's now my great honor and pleasure to ask McGill's most recent graduate, Dr. Ruth DeFries, to address convocation. Dr. DeFries.
Thank you. Congratulations to all the graduates and their families on this wonderful, wonderful occasion. I am so sincerely honored with this recognition from such a fine and such a world-renowned university. We are all living in a momentous time in our species' long presence on this planet. The complexity and pace of change in today's world is fascinating and full of promise. It is also a bit frightening to be hurtling forward so rapidly into the unknown. We can't even imagine today what might happen in your lifetimes and certainly in the lifetimes of your children. What will 9 billion people be eating? Will the world's growing cities be the bastions of culture or the progenitors of poverty? Will there be enough water for thirsty crops? Are wildfires, floods, and storms the canaries in the coal mine for a changing climate? Will your children be able to enjoy the peace and solace of a walk in the forest or the cacophony of voices from our non-human fellow passengers on this planet? It's easy to dive into a sea of despair about the uncertainties that lie ahead. It's all too tempting to retreat into the comfort of the past. But that glamorized past never actually existed. Millions of people around the world are now living longer and more comfortable lives. Less children are chronically hungry than a few decades ago, and more infants survive to become adults. A hard look at the facts would lead most people to conclude that they are luckier to be living today than even 50 years ago, and certainly 100 or 200 years ago. Luck? Really? Is it only luck that determines our fate on this planet? Of course not. We make our own fate, both for good and for bad. We consume food, even if grown far away and out of sight, that leaves a footprint on the planet through the clearing of land and the spewing of gases. Our wastes flow into the water or rise into the air. We enjoy our gadgets made from minerals mined from the earth. Our actions and decisions affect not just ourselves, but everyone else, human and non, present and future. And our actions and decisions also make for a better world. We choose professions that help others, as you have done. We're part of the fabric of our families and communities. I've spent much of my career trying to quantify just how much land is cleared or other species are affected by our decisions. There's no shortage of metrics to mark our impact of our decisions. Food miles, carbon footprint, certified organic, fair labor. But what do these metrics really mean? Can you keep a balance sheet? On one side is the size of your footprint, on the other is the good you do in the world to offset what you take. No matter how many metrics or how accurately science can track the impacts of your decisions, only you can decide whether your account sheet balances, whether the good you do in the world makes up for what you take. We can't compare eating a hamburger, for instance, against the comfort you might give to a friend or work you might do to make the life of someone who you will never meet a little better. Should you fly to visit your family, knowing that the carbon dioxide puts a debit in your carbon footprint? Everyone makes trade-offs every day as they go through their daily lives. There's no amount of science that can tell you whether your decision was right. There are no metrics to tell if what you take from the earth balances against what you give back. You've just been through several years where you knew where you stood. Grade point averages and class rank told you how you measure up. In the outside world, there is no measure. No one will add up your contributions to society or send you a report to see if your credits outweigh your debits. We all live with our own accounting system. We internally weigh the costs from our decisions that affect the planet against the joy, help, and happiness those decisions bring to ourselves or to others. Everyone's balance sheet reflects their own definition of success. Only you, not your professors, your bosses, your parents, or your friends, can decide on the right balance. There's no one-size-fits-all equation. No one can make that judgment for you, and you can't make that judgment for anyone else. My science is about numbers, metrics, and quantities. But in the end, all of these quantifiable measures can't help with the most basic question. Do we give more from our lives than we take? You are passing from the realm of knowing where you stood into a world of non-measurable trade-offs. Peace be with all of you. Peace be with all life on this planet. Congratulations.